Hey students, today's lesson is on using similar triangles. So we'll start with a key idea, and that is that when two angles in one triangle are congruent to two angles in another triangle, the third angles also must be congruent, and therefore the triangles are similar. So we know that similar triangles are triangles in which all three angles are congruent. But our idea here is that if we can prove that two of the angles are congruent, then the third one must be as well. So we'll use that to try to determine whether these triangles are similar. So in our first set of triangles, we have a 50-degree angle in each of the triangles, and we have a 75-degree angle in each of the triangles. So that's enough for us to tell that they are similar. We don't need to find the angle measures of x or y. We know that they are similar. So we're going to say yes, and there are two pairs of congruent angles. All right. In our second example, we have two triangles. They both have a 63-degree angle, but we don't see whether there's another set of congruent angles or not. We're going to need to solve for either x or y to do that. So let's go ahead and solve for x. We know that the angles of a triangle add up to 180. So we're going to say x plus 63 plus 54 equals 180. We'll combine our like terms to get x plus 117 equals 180. We'll subtract 117 from both sides, and we get x equals 63. So if this is 63, we do have another set of congruent angles. So the third angle must be 54 in both of them. So yes, two pairs of congruent angles. All right, one more. Here we have two triangles that both have a 90-degree angle, but then we have a 42-degree angle in this one and a 38-degree angle in the second triangle. We're going to need to solve for either x or y. Let's solve for x again. So we'll do 90 plus 42 plus x equals 180. We're going to combine our like terms. We have 132 plus x equals 180. We'll subtract 132 from both sides, and we get x equals 48. All right, so if this x is 48, no, those two triangles are not similar. There's only one pair of congruent angles. Only one pair of congruent angles. All right, let's go ahead and do one more, some key vocabulary here, and that's indirect measurement. Indirect measurement is a method of using similar figures to find a missing measure when it's difficult to find it directly. So maybe it's measuring across a stream or a tall tree or something like that that would be hard to measure in real life. But you could use similar figures, and we're going to be using similar triangles here, to find that missing measurement. So let's look at this example. We want to cross the river, that's x. We want to know how far it is to the other side. So we take measurements on our side of the river, and you can see all of the different measurements that were taken. And so we want to use those to find that distance across. So first thing is we need to prove that our two triangles are actually similar. So we need to prove that they have two pairs of congruent angles. So we can see that both triangles have a right angle. So we can say they both have a right angle. And we can also see that we have two intersecting lines, which creates a pair of vertical angles. We know that vertical angles are congruent, so they both have a right angle and a pair of vertical angles. Okay, so we've proven that our two triangles are actually similar. Now we're going to use that to find the distance across the river. So we're going to look for which sides correspond with each other. So we can see this right angle here. If I turned this triangle up here, we could see that they would be oriented the same way, and those would be the sides that would be corresponding to each other. So I'm going to say X and 60 are corresponding sides. So I'm going to start by writing that ratio, X over 60. And I'm going to set that equal to 40 over 50. Those are two corresponding sides, also with the smaller triangle to the larger triangle. So X over 60 equals 40 over 50. I can solve this proportion in a variety of ways, but as I look at this, I see I could just multiply both sides by 60 would be one way to do this, and that would give me the value of X. So that means that X equals 40 times 60, which is 2,400, divided by 50, which means that X equals 48. And in this problem, I'm talking about feet, so my answer is 48 feet. All right, go ahead and try a few on your own. I'll see you soon.